Good evening, friends. You're watching a digital video news bulletin in English language of datelinegujaratnews.com. So, what's buzzing in the world? What's the news which is buzzing in the world, or what is buzzing in the world of the news? Okay, let's get on it. It's 30th May today. It's Tuesday, and we're going to talk what's been leading the headlines across the world. Beluga whale, which was once suspected as a Russian spy, has appeared on the Swedish coast. And whale watchers in Norway, basically, they have named this whale as Hvaldmir. It's like HVAL is basically whale in Norwegian or Swedish language, and VLDIMR Vladimir is basically the name, which is a Russian name. So they have named this whale as Hvaldmir. And of course, from the Russia-Ukraine war zones, what's happening over there? Drone attacks in Moscow, and that too in a posh locality, where the report surfaced that even Putin lives in that area. I mean, he has his house in that area. So obviously, the blame game starts, and it's always Ukrainians have done it. Amidst this, one Russian politician has said that residents should prepare for the new reality of attacks on the capital. Now, this is something, is this really going to happen? The drone attacks. And Russia basically accuses Ukraine of a terrorist attack after the drone strike in Moscow. So this is mainly from that area. So what is happening, some parallel developments equally in Russia, is that Russia has issued an arrest warrant of US Senator Lindsey Graham, and he is on the wanted list of Russia now. He had made some comments which were again video twisted by Zelensky, and that's how it went viral, and now he's on the wanted list of Russia. And the Russia's investigative committee has says that it has said that it is going to open criminal investigations against Lindsey Graham, the U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham. So things are a little dicey on that stuff. Equally in the nearby area of Serbia and Kosovo on the Russian landscape, 30 international peacekeepers are reported to have been injured in the fierce clashes with the ethnic Serbs in Kosovo, who were violent, and they were making some violent protests for the tensions which are sowed when ethnic Serbs in northern Kosovo tried to block recently elected ethnic Albanian officials who were trying to enter the municipal building. So that's the mayor position basically. And whereas in other developments in Asia, if you see, China has declined meeting with the defense chiefs in US, while the Shangri-La dialogues in Singapore. And equally, Taiwan leaders have approached China. They have said that please don't cut off Taiwan from the internet and phones by cutting their cables. And Taiwan leaders want to accelerate plans to make the island more resilient to communication breakdowns, because it's sitting on a buffet of earthquakes and the potential conflict with the China. So that's the reason this diplomatic exercise has been done in that direction, that please don't cut off us in terms of communicating with the world or from the communication platform with the world. COVID-19, again, several theories floating in. The World Health Organization has said that the new variant of COVID, it's going to be a long COVID. There have been reports, which we even reported yesterday, which we said that the world media is talking that how by the end of the June, China is likely to get 65 million cases, that's 6.5 crore people likely to be infected by the new variant of COVID. And amidst that, there has been a news where a Chinese scientist, what he has said is that don't rule out the COVID-19 lab break theory or the lab leak theory. So this theory where this virus was made potent, and it was kind of potential, not potent, but it was made potential weapon, and it was leaked from the labs of Wuhan. So don't rule out that theory. That's what he's telling. And this theory had surfaced several times in FBI investigations and everything. But now this is how the things are going on. Equally an interesting piece, which is a graphic truth, a graphic display of, it titles is Graphic Truth, Who Caused the US National Debt. And that's an interesting piece I think one should read, because it gives a graphical detailing as to how, during which regime of which president, how much debt was raised by USA. That's quite a learning lesson, for lots of nations. I think this is a story worth clicking and reading on our newsletter. Equally, what is happening in India? So the news headlines in India mainly, it's completion of the 9 years of Narendra Modi-led government of India basically, and National Democratic Alliance government in power, which promises developed India, where Narendra Modi has said that we will keep working even harder to build a developed India. Equally, the comments come from the US Ambassador Grassity, where he has said that PM Modi's upcoming visit to US is to elevate India-US relationship to the next level. That's what he has said. But amidst all this, there is a sad moment for the protesting wrestlers. They today arrived at Haridwar to immerse their medals into Ganga, and the farm leader Naresh Tiketi stopped them. He said, don't do this. He stopped them from immersing those medals in Ganges, and he said that don't do this. He said the entire government is saving one man, that is the the Wrestlers Federation of India's Chief Brijbhushan Sharan Singh, against whom the allegations are there of assaulting women and physically mishandling the women, and a kind of acts which are thereby POSCO. It's basically sexual harassment cases, if you can call it. And that's what he has said, that there will be a Khap Panchayat sitting tomorrow. There will be a meeting tomorrow of the Khap Panchayats, which are a kind of voice dominating entities in Haryana. And he added that we will not let them bow down, that is the wrestlers and especially the girls bow down. Our daughters are pride of the nation, that's what he has said. And he has said that it is our collective responsibility to save the country. Whereas Nasruddin Shah, the film actor, was asked in one of the events that will Bollywood, the Indian film industry, make a movie on the protesting wrestlers or not? And Nasir, being Nasir, he responded saying that there is nothing about the Hindi film industry's there's nothing new, he said, about the Hindi film industry's stance on staying mum on important issues. But we would like to mention over here, recently there was a movie which has come on the OTT platform Netflix, and this movie is made by Anubhav Sinha. It's titled Bheed, which is about the migrant laborers who moved out of Delhi to several parts of the nation. They walked, they went on cycles, they went in rickshaws and all that, So it's not that the issue-based cinema is not there, or the cinema activism is not there. It's there, but let us see who's going to make this movie. So the question was valid. The answer was also pretty valid, but I think let's wait and watch. Somebody will make a movie definitely about this. What is buzzing in Gujarat? The news space in Gujarat is all dominated with the Chennai Super Kings victory in the Tata IPL, of course. The last ball, the last shot, and that's how it is. And what is the score with JioCinema? JioCinema has scored a mark of 32 million viewers on the online streaming platform who have viewed IPL. That is 3 crore 20 lakh viewers who watched. That makes it the largest online streaming platform for the sports in the world. But I fail to understand what has happened to the world. The game within the game in IPL, what happens and what does not happen. There is a series called Inside Edge which talks about it. But people are watching that, but there's nothing, there's no focus really on the protesting wrestlers. So where the sportsmanship spirit is really going, even of the society, if you call a civil society in general, because I was just surfing and cruising the television channels, and most of the time, the prime time, the debates were mainly about the completion of 9 years of the government and some meeting of Gehlot and a pilot with the Delhi High Command of Congress, and these were the issues. So I think this issue of wrestlers was not taken to that level, I think. And of course, some channels were talking about visits of Amit Shah to Manipur and pertaining debates, but nobody was talking on this. Especially this wrestlers protesting and their issue. What's happening else in Gujarat? So tomorrow there are going to be results of Gujarat Higher Secondary Education Board Standard 12th Commerce and Art streams. So wishing all the students who appeared for these exams all the best, and wishing congratulations in advance, of course. And of course, don't let yourself down in case if you are not able to make it. There are so many examples in the world, in the country, in the nation, in the state, in your cities, in your towns, who failed and who have made it big. So learn from them, inspire from them, but don't let yourself down. Always give a second try, a third try, a fourth try, as many as try you can till you be really victorious and you conquer the game. Going ahead, there has been an expert comment or expert remark which says that startup investment culture in Gujarat needs to improve. It needs an improvement. So this comment comes after this buzz about the startups and the way it has to anchor. Gujarat being an entrepreneurial state, there is enterprise in the DNA of Gujaratis, and that's where this comment comes, basically, expert remark. Equally, there was a severe weather day yesterday. Today also, of course, the weather conditions are not good, but amidst this, the Indian Coast Guard has rescued a stranded boat, the crew of the coast of Gujarat coast. And the release of the Indian Coast Guard says that the boat had defect in its engine, which could not be rectified at the sea level. So they've rescued this crew basically mid-sea. It was a stormy sea, of course, because there have been warnings of hailstorms and severe rain conditions and weather conditions. So what has happened at Port of Pipavav? There is a power shutdown, and the Port of Pipavav has been, compelled to report force majeure event. So the Gujarat, the company itself has gone on the Indian stock exchanges. They have reported this force majeure event as the storms in Saurashtra region disrupted the power supply at Pipavav port. Juxtaposing the same situation, what has happened with the gushing winds? Who would benefit out of the gushing winds? Of course, the sailors, but the sea were off, so they were not allowed to sail. But then, who is it? It's the renewable power sector. And the more the wind, the more the windmills will move, and the more the power. So Inox Wind basically, it has locked a 150 megawatt repeat order from NTPC project in Gujarat. So that's how they benefited in a juxtaposing condition of the severe weather conditions. What is update? Apart from these updates from the world, India and Gujarat, what are the updates from across the business and finance front? That's my favorite. Asian stocks ended mixed on Tuesday on the concerns of China's economic recovery is losing steam and the signs of rising tensions between Washington and Beijing offset investors' optimism over the agreement of the deal to raise the US debt ceiling and avert the default in the world's largest economy. However, Indian shares as well ended well on Tuesday. Sensex and Nifty, both the indices, the benchmark indices ended on the positive count as in the green zone. And European stocks had a mixed kind of feel, and some stocks prices fell down on Tuesday as investors waited the passage of the US debt ceiling deal before June 5. And of course, the hawkish Fed expectations and concerns about China's economic recovery also kept the investors a little nervous in the Western markets. US markets have remained a little range bound, where after the initial move to the upside, the stocks have been giving ground over the course of trading sessions. Gold prices have recovered. Oil prices fell by 2%. Both the benchmark indices, that is the, if you see the Brent crude, which fell 2% while opening, and it was almost trading at $75.42. $75.42 a barrel in its opening trading session. And WTI crude futures were also down. It was almost down 2% and was trading at $71.13 in its opening trade. Dollar experienced a kind of dent. Dollar fell basically, and after climbing for the 2 months high. And on Tuesday, the relief that US government had averted possible default gave a way of concern to that the deal could face a rocky path through the Congress. So that's the reason the sentimentally a dollar is little down. So this is all across the day. Wishing you a good day ahead. Thank you thank you for watching us, and good night, and stay tuned on our website datelinegujaratnews.com. Do visit our website datelinegujaratnews.com and click the links, read our newsletters, read the newswires. It's a dose across the day as to what has happened in the world, in Asia, in Middle East, in Europe, in Africa, in the American subcontinent, that is Canada, America, Mexico, Caribbeans, Latin America, and of course the South Pacifics, the Australia, New Zealand, and the frozen polars. And in India, what has happened across the day, in Gujarat, what has happened across the day, what has happened in the world stock markets across the day, and what has happened in the Indian stock market across the day. So it's a complete dose. You can just swipe and read the bulleted points, and you can get a feel as to what is buzzing around you in the news. It's just a 30 minutes thing with this news, and you can enjoy it. Good night. Thank you, and have a good day.